Hatchlings, it's DragonFeather and welcome back to our channel, and on today's video I thought I would share a story time with you guys of when I first started to discover that magic was real. Because I have quite a few magical stories to tell that kind of like made me realize that magic is real if you believe in it, and that's probably one of the most commonly asked questions I get is, how do you know that magic is real? Where's your proof? So here's my proof, and it's completely individualized for every person. So what might, prove that magic is real to me might mean nothing to you. So it really just depends on the individual and who's willing to take a leap of faith and believe in it anyway. So I will start with the stories. When I first started practicing, consciously practicing magic, I was around 14 years old, and shortly after that I turned 15. I think I was only practicing for maybe a couple months while I was 14, but after I turned 15, I actually was right after I started this channel, and I was, really starting to be more proactive in spell casting and stuff like that. I wanted to learn more, and I wanted to try more, and I wanted to get my hands dirty, or get my hands wet, if you will. I really wanted to discover if magic was real, and I was determined to figure it out, and I didn't know which way it would go. I didn't know if I was gonna be yeah, magic's real, or no, magic's fucking fake. No, I was really skeptical, but I was hopeful, and I had a positive attitude about it and an open mind, and I had to go into it that way or I would have never ever had the experiences that I did. Most of the spells I casted when I was first starting out were actually unsuccessful, although I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like that. Don't be discouraged if the first spell you ever cast doesn't work. Come on guys, try again. The first couple ones that I did didn't work, and I was okay with that. I was okay, I'm gonna keep trying. So as time went on, I decided to try to perform my first ritual, and my first ritual was a Beltane Ritual, and that is the holiday for sexy time and life and desire and fiery passion and stuff like that, and I wanted to really invoke those energies. And the first time I really experienced the presence of spirit around me, or of a positive energy or light around me, was during that ritual. I felt the spirit of love in my home during that first ritual. And I fucked it up so bad, you guys. I was forgetting my lines, and I lit the candles in the wrong order, and I spilled shit multiple times. It was a hot mess, but it still felt magical. And that's just for me, that was one of my moments where I was oh my gosh, that was ridiculous, but that was successful. Life happened, time went on, and I still wasn't really convinced about spell casting. I got the idea of rituals, you know what I mean, but the whole spell casting type deal I was very still skeptical on, because I really at this point didn't have any major successful spells happen. Sure, maybe by focusing on willing something to happen, I was able to do something like that, very small, but nothing on a big scale that was physically noticeable. Check it off my list, I know this happened. Fast forward more to now, actually. I was turning, I want to say I was turning 16 or 17, possibly 18, excuse my memory, but I ended up going to a store called Psychic Eye with my dad for my birthday, and I discovered this stone called azurite. And it tripped me out so hard because I initially named myself DragonFeather when I first started walking my spiritual path. And as time went on, I decided to call myself Azure DragonFeather, and then it just kind of developed into Ḻḷagǝǝ DragonFeather. So that's kind of who I am. That's the spiritual representation of my soul, I guess, or the magical name for my soul, I guess. Whatever you want to call it. Azurite, azurite. I did not know that there was a crystal named after the color azure. I did not know this, and I was what? This is crazy. And I was freaking out, and it was totally I was this is my soul stone. This is my soul stone. And I felt so connected to it in a way that I'd never felt connected to Tiger's Eye before, because at the point in time I was oh yeah, Tiger's Eye is my totem stone, but I had never experienced such a connection with a crystal like I do with azurite. It's unbelievably powerful and intoxicating and just crazy cool magic. I actually lost this piece. piece that I got for my birthday. I was at my boyfriend at the house, like I was at my boyfriend's house at the time. He was my boyfriend at the time. And I was like on and off living with him a little bit. And I actually lost this crystal. And I remember that from this trip that I went on, because I went to Oregon for a while. I actually have a video, like a vlog of when I went, but I ended up meeting this shaman there. And he told me that in ancient like European traditions for magic, for practitioners of magic, they would go out into the forest and leave their tools in the forest for 9 days. And if their tools and magical items were still there when they got back, then they were meant to be a practitioner of magic. But if they were gone, then you weren't permitted to practice magic. It's kind of just like some old folklore tale. And I was like, oh, that's interesting at the time, and I had no idea. But later on, once I lost this crystal, I lost it for 9 days and I found it 9 days later. And I was just like, I was sold. I was like, magic exists, like there's no way, like so synchronicity, like what the hell just happened, like that can't even be real right now. Like I was just like, oh my god, what? And but the same guy that I was with at the time, like he was very open to the whole paganism, and he practiced voodoo for a while. I don't know if he still does, but he came to one of these like rituals with my coven, and he pulled out like an owl from the charm cake when like we were talking about earlier that he thought that his totem animal was an owl, and like seeing that unfold naturally, like watching magic happen to someone else is like a rare experience, and when you actually do get to see it happen, it's just like enchanting. It's like, whoa, that's like, wow, like universe, wow, magic exists. Thank you for proving it to me yet again. That was like minor, you know, like I thought it was worth mentioning, but the majority of my belief in magic comes from my last story. I'm sorry if this is like all over the place. I hope that you guys can like follow along, because I'm just kind of like telling you like random little snippets that like through my like magical career that were like, okay, it exists, okay, I get it, okay, yeah, I know. You know what I mean? And the last one I have to share with you is probably the most recent story. And this took place, I think, towards the end of 2015, beginning of 2016. And my friends at the time wanted to move out, and we all wanted to move out together, and it was just like a very stressful situation for everybody. Everyone had their own personal reasons why they needed to get out on their own. We decided that we were going to try and move out together. We were going to try and get a 3-bedroom apartment for all of us. There were 5 of us, and we're like, okay, let's do this. And so I decided to cast a fuck ton of money spells. And I didn't know if this shit was going to work, right? I was like, money spell, that sounds like the most lame spell to cast. Like, that next to a love spell, you know what I mean? At this point in time, I was mostly like, okay, protection magic is like the one that I would do constantly and like felt like was the best to do. I decided to cast a money spell to afford this new house that we were trying to manifest for ourselves. And I, like 4 nights in a row, I had these like little tiny green like taper candles, like they were this big, you know, about like this round, and they're like $1 when you go to like metaphysical stores, and they have like all a bunch of colors. And I had 4 of these green candles, and I would write dollar signs on the wax, right? And I would write like prosperity and wealth or something like that, like money spell type, you know, vocabulary. And I would focus on manifesting money. I would sit in front of the candle and I would let it burn all the way out, but I would visualize myself holding like $100 bills. You know what I mean? Like, just like, what's the easiest way for me to visualize having a lot of money? And I was like, okay, me holding a fuck ton of $100 bills sounds like a good idea, right? So, okay. And so I'm like, you know, in my mind, I'm like visualizing like having all these $100 bills. And I'm like, okay, I want to manifest this reality for the people who I love and care about, and for myself as well, so we can be in a good environment and grow together. It was, and like I was sending out all my love and light, positive vibes, good vibes, you know, making myself known to the universe that I wanted these things to come true. I don't think it was actually 4 nights in a row. I think it was like over like a period of like maybe a couple weeks that I did this. So like a few days later, I went back and I did the same money spell, you know, lit the candle, you know, draw dollar signs all over it and write words and crap, and I, you know, visualized myself holding a bunch of $100 bills. I did this again, and then I started making more money at my job. They started giving me more hours. So once I got this job, I was making quite a bit. So what I would do for the third time that I performed the money spell is I would take the money that I earned and go to the bank and like withdraw $100 bills. And then I would take these $100 bills and I would run them through incense smoke and cleanse them from all the negative energy, because believe me, you guys, money has some crazy energy attached to it. Like everybody wants more of it, or everybody's trying to get it, or they're greedy and they just don't want to give it away. Like sometimes you just need to clear that shit if you're gonna work with it. Because for me, like, the dollar is not like money is just a tool, you know what I mean? Money, I just call them manifestation scrolls because they're a tool to make shit happen, if that makes sense. I would take these $100 bills, cleanse them in incense smoke, and then I would fold them and I would put them in this like silk bag that had dragons and phoenixes on it, and then I would hold the candle over it while it was burning, and I would visualize myself holding tons of $100 bills. But at this time I only had like 2 or 3 maybe, and each single one I like ran it through the incense smoke and was like, I cleanse you of all past energies, all negative entities, and all ill will, so mote be, you know, fuck it, fuck all the badness. I would take these and keep doing it, and then the 4th time I did it, which was my last candle that I had, I took all the money I had. I think I had like 2 extra $100 bills this time, and I ran it through the incense smoke, even the ones I cleansed previously, and I did the same thing with the candle and the visualizing money spells. And then as time went on, really recent to October of 2016, or a little bit after that, no, a little bit before that, so like August, September of 2016, I was getting ready to plan a trip to Oregon to go see my friends. And I, you know, grabbed my bag, you know, that I kept all my dollars in, and I grabbed the bag and I reached out to like see how much I could spend on, you know, a new bed, plus tickets to go to Oregon, plus spending money while I'm there, plus money for food, all of these things. And I'm like, I look into my hands and I have $1,000 worth of $100 bills from working. And it like dawned on me, and I was like, wait, this is like what I visualized for my money spell. And it was like physical dollar bills in my hands, and I was like, holy shit, magic is real. So that's my story for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was inspired by conversations that I had over in the Hatchling Clan, which is actually kind of like the Pagan and Witches Amino app. It's kind of the same idea, except it's just for the hatchlings. Like, it's specifically for the hatchlings. There was a lot of random miscommunication and confusion that happened, so I decided to make a community just for you guys. And shout out to everybody who's already over there and who's already like making this community like really cool. I'll leave a link down below if you guys want to join. It's a great way for me to connect with you guys one-on-one, and I am using it as a way to have you guys help me vote for what videos you want to see next. So if you guys want to be really involved in the channel and really get to know me and the hatchlings and like get to know, you know, magic on a better basis, maybe you work better when you have one-on-one, you know, guidance. That's kind of like the whole idea behind this thing. So yeah, I'll leave a link down below for you guys if you're interested in joining us over there. But this entire video was kind of inspired by that, because I said I manifested a reality that I wanted, and that's when I knew magic was real. And it's like the moment that I was like looking into my hands and I saw a crap ton of $100 bills, like I visualized, you know, weeks ago about, you know, getting money for whatever, I was just like, wow, like this is crazy. Like months ago, weeks ago, I meant months ago. So it really depends, you guys. Like, it really depends on how much you're willing to like focus into your spells, like how much you're willing to visualize. Visualization is key, you guys. Breathing while you're visualizing is key, you guys. Like, it's a matter of staying dedicated and maybe even doing the same thing over and over and over again, even when it seems like it's not working, is the consistent effort that's gonna get you there. And I kind of wanted to share that because a lot of people ask me like, oh, you can't be kidding yourself, magic isn't real. And it's like, okay, for you, clearly it's not, because you haven't given it a chance, nor are you willing to. Like, some people just aren't willing to learn, and that's okay. It's not for everybody. Just like, you know, Christianity is not for everybody. It's just spiritual prath. I was trying to put practice and path together, but it's just a spiritual path and practice. There we go. My goodness, tongue twisters. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my little story time of how I discovered magic was real. I'd love to know about your guys' stories. If you want to leave them in the comment section below, I would love to read how you guys discovered magic was real. So if you guys want to hear more story times like this, leave a like on the video and comment down below what you want to know. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to go follow all the hatchlings and get involved over at the Hatchling Clan. I'm trying to like build an online coven, like really informal at first, but I'm trying to like get it going because I can't do it by myself. I need your guys' help. So come be a part of the Hatchling Clan. Links are down below, and I will see you guys next time. But until next time, stay geeky, cheeky, and freaky little hatchlings. Blessed be, and bye.